Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Alberta's pride. Hey, ho, hey, ha, ha, hey, yes, hey, 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 hey. Whoa.
Out in Alberta where the Rockies rise, Tommy Temper streaming with fire in his eyes, from a lake house glowing in the moonlight's gleam. He's the YouTube king of the widest streams. Oh, Tommy Temper, you're a great guy, battling trolls with a spark in your eye. Conspiracy theories, politics and fun, streaming from the Rockies, you're second to none. Hot tub bubbling under starlit skies, he's calling out the haters with truth in his lines, talking about the world from the left to the right. Tommy's got the mic, keeping it tight. Oh, Tommy Temper, you're a great guy, battling trolls with a spark in your eye. Conspiracy theories, politics and fun, streaming from the Rockies, you're second to none. Lake house vibes where the mountains meet the stream. He's dodging all the trolls like a champion dream. From Alberta's heart, he's lighting up the night. Tommy Temper's truth is his guiding light. With a wink and a grin, he's taking on the fight, spilling all the tea in the YouTube life. From the hot tub to the Rockies, he's living it free. Tommy Temper's the streamer we all want to see. Oh, Tommy Temper, you're a great guy, battling trolls with a spark in your eye. Conspiracy theories, politics and fun, streaming from the Rockies, you're second to none. So raise a glass to
Uh-huh.
the legend of the
We're back.
from Alberta's lake house. He's taking us there.
Welcome.
The Rockies watching and the hot tub steaming. Tommy Temper, the hero of YouTube dreaming. She's streaming Tommy Temper. Alberta's pride.
Oh. Dash and Grandma. What are these politicians doing? Like, how stupid can politicians be? It's, okay, first of all, even I know you don't piss off Donald Trump. You don't. You just plain don't, right? You leave Trump alone. Let him do what he's doing. Don't call him out. Don't try and make him look bad. Don't try and be better than him. He's like the alpha, right? The alpha dog in the political world, right? And you need to basically bow down and lick whatever Queenie would say. But, you know, these Canadian politicians are so stupid, you know, especially the ones that are leaning to the left side of the fence, that just, you know, they're with Carney, where they just plain hate Trump, right? You've got this Trump derangement syndrome going on up here in Canada. You know, it's like, if you're someone like me, it's like, oh, you're MAGA, you know, or whatever. No, I'm not MAGA. I'm Canadian. I live up here in Canada. I just understand Trump. I understand the way he thinks. I understand the way he is. And, you know, if you're a subordinate to somebody, you just bow down to them, you know, when you don't piss them off, right? Because when you piss them off, then they do stuff like this, right? It's just the way it is, right? And you have to expect that, you know, when you're working on a deal and you're trying to buy something or trying to negotiate a deal with somebody and you end up putting them down, you're not going to get a good deal. You know that for sure. Whatever this deal is that Canada is trying to do with the States, first of all, if Trump goes to the trouble of renaming an actual lake in relation to this bashing that he's getting especially from Doug Ford, you know, in particular, which is Doug Ford is the premier of Ontario, right? By the way, so that's why Trump hit back at the Lake of Ontario. I think he thought, what can I do to Ford to really piss him off and piss these Canadian politicians off? You know, well, the best thing I can do is why not rename the Lake of Ontario to the Lake of or Lake America, right? Not Lake of, but Lake America. And he actually did it. He did it. and he's doing that just to piss off Canada. And if Mark Carney and the rest of the idiots there in Canada that are with the Liberal government think that they're going to get some kind of a decent deal from Donald Trump after bashing him, they're sadly mistaken. They're the worst possible people that we could have representing us up here in Canada. Like I said, I've said many times, you guys have heard me, I should be the Prime Minister of Canada because I know how to deal with people. I know how to understand people. I know what they're all about. And I know you guys know me on this channel here that I don't sit here bashing people all day long because I know that it doesn't get you anywhere. In real life, it doesn't get you anywhere. And even on the fake make-believe internet, it doesn't work, okay? You have to try and be nice to people. And if you're not nice to people, you're not going to get what you want. It's pretty simple. Hey, good to see everyone in there. We got Railroaded in there, Dash and Grandma. 12th Man, good to see you. East Coast, good to see you. We got Daryl in there, Old Goat in there. Hey, good to see you. Elm Tree, lots of good friends in there. Yeah, so, and those of you over there in Ontario, you can thank your illustrious liberal cohort, Doug Ford, for this happening to you in Ontario. Like honestly, I could play a little bit of the music here too, but you know what the music is that they're playing to this one here. You know, like let's listen for a little bit here. Oh, hang on here. Maybe I don't have the music on there. Hang on. Okay, you knew whether it was that song going along with that one. Da, da, da. Young Man. That song is so gay too. I don't know why they would play that one. Oh, that is just plain funny. What was that noise? I heard some kind of a noise in there that came into my headphones here. I don't know. Maybe somebody did something. Maybe we got a new sub to the channel here or something. Gee, that would be nice. If you're just watching, yeah, make sure you sub up to the channel. Give us a sub. We love to have more people subbing up to the channel here and stuff like that. Yeah. And, this guy here they should actually rename something in relation to Manitoba because what's his name? Webb Canoe. Yeah. Likes picking fights with Trump as well. Over the hill, he's saying here, and Ford is telling him Trump to kiss his ass. And this is our leadership in Canada. Here's Wob Canoe. Let's hear what he has to say about Trump.
When like a rock band is really over the hill and you see them like in a casino playing some song from like 50 years ago, I think that's the part of Donald Trump's presidency we're at now. Like he thought he had a real hit, a real golden oldie with the Gulf of Mexico, and he's trying to bring back that. He's trying to play the hits for his base. But I think everybody here thinks it's a little sad and it's not his best work.
No, I think that what people are thinking is that you guys are idiots, for trying to put Trump down. And, you're not doing any good saying what you're saying. You're just making yourself look foolish. I was told many, many years ago, never put your competition down. Never, ever, 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 because all it does is make you look bad and you piss off your competition and they do something else to outdo you. So whatever you say or whatever you do in order to put them down, they might very well just do one up you and, do something worse than what you've done to put you down. And that's exactly what we've seen here. Imagine that. Renaming a lake, especially a lake that has a Canadian name, Lake Ontario. Unfrickin' believable. I didn't know that would happen. I had to chuckle when it did happen. I'm one that I would say something like that. That don't do that. Just don't do that, because something bad is going to happen. And yeah, certainly that's what happened. So now you've got all kind of memes all over the internet with the renaming of Lake Ontario. And here's another one here that just popped into the feed here. Oh, this stuff is just going berserk on the internet here. Here's they've also probably renamed the Canada Goose to Trump Goose there now or something, and they're floating along on Lake America there. Yeah, with the Trump hairdo in there. Yeah, this is just funniness in here. You can't make this shit up. This is just what we're talking about here today. It's craziness. Yeah. Wabi knucklehead is NDP leftist. Yeah, exactly. you've got the left wing Doug Ford, who's like, I don't know how he got in as a conservative, and he wants to also be the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. And I doubt that will ever happen, but I think he has ideas that that's where he's going to be moving for his future, to take over from Poilievre's job. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Everybody knows that he's like what's known in Canada as a red Tory. A red Tory is like a liberal conservative, right? They're known as a red Tory, and that's Doug Ford, who actually is the guy that was, had the mouth off Trump, tell Trump, hey, my ass has got a big piece of real estate on my rear end. So Trump has a lot of place where he can kiss my ass. So yeah, this is what you get for telling Trump to kiss your ass. You don't do that. You just don't do that at all. Yeah, you're exactly Donald Ducks. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the art of the troll. That's certainly the art of the troll. This is where we're at here. Oh, this is just, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Where's some sound on here? No. No, hang on. Hang on. We got the wrong soundboard here. Here we go. There we go. We need a little bit of like background sound for me. It's ominous. It's ominous. The state of Canada here, and where we're at with, let's face it, we're up here in Canada. We have to bow down to the United States. We have to bow down to Trump. We can't be telling Trump to kiss our ass, because otherwise bad things are going to happen. And yeah, everyone is laughing like crazy. I don't know, what are liberals thinking out there? Liberals, is there any liberals in the audience out there? What are you thinking of what Trump has done here? What do you guys think about this whole thing with Trump renaming Lake Ontario to Lake America? What do you guys think about that? There's got to be Sandy Foster or somebody out there that lives in Ontario that has something to say about this. Oh, this is pretty freaking funny. Unbelievable. Canada should be fined for every single goose that flies across that border. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Fry, good to see you. Troy, sorry about that. I had to take your wrench away because of backlash from Crackhead Kenny. He was really pissed off that you timed him out or turfed him out or whatever, caused him to lose his wrench. So I ended up going over into Crackhead Kenny's chat, and in order to get him to quit calling me out on his chat there because of what you did to him or whatever. You're causing me grief in my channel. You can't cause me grief in my channel. If you're a mod in my channel, don't do stuff with your wrench that's going to cause grief, because otherwise you might get your wrench taken away. Now, of course, Troy, hopefully you're not butthurt over it like Trump would be for somebody calling him to kiss his ass or something like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, you did read my what comment from the previous stream. No, I didn't. So Troy, you might want to read it, or give me that comment again there so that I can actually read it. No, I did not. And that's the whole thing, Troy, is you have to, and even Crackhead Kenny, he doesn't understand that I cannot read all of my chat. I absolutely cannot, because I'm over on, other platforms trying to get material, trying to bring it up on my stream. Like I'm a one-man show here. I'm not just sitting here looking at the chat and reading the chat. Like that's not what my show is all about. My show is about content, trying to provide you some kind of ridiculous, absurd content that you guys are going to eat up, you know what I mean? So what that means is that I can't sit here and just stare at the chat. You guys know that, right? Yeah, Tommy, you sure have a selective memory. Yeah. Well, maybe I do. I do. Yeah. Like stuff is in and out, right? And stuff that's on the internet is like, for me, it's just fun. It's just fluff. It's in my life. It's just another day in the life. You know what I mean? And sometimes I remember stuff. Sometimes I don't. I don't really pay attention a lot. Maybe I don't have a really sharp memory where I'm really on top of every little thing that's happening. I'm just here just to sort of have fun, That's all I started this channel for was to, well, I started the channel to bash politicians, okay? That was it. Not you guys, and not to have to deal with the chat. The chat is something that comes along with starting the YouTube channel. Now, originally when I started the channel, there was no such thing as going live, right? You weren't able to go live on YouTube. All you could do is post a video, right? And you post a video, and then you could go back and you can read the comments, right? But when this shit is happening in real time here now with comments that are coming in at real time, and if you know anything about comments, they go pretty fast. Like I might get 700 or 1,000 comments on one stream, so there's no hope in hell that I can read everything. So yeah, Kenny comes first. Well, I can't have anybody in the chat that has a wrench just willy-nilly doing shit and causing a bunch of trouble and timing people out or whatever. Or, like, okay, if I ask you to ban somebody and you have a wrench, okay, ban somebody. But other than that, don't use your wrench to do anything. Just, be happy that you have a wrench. And, if you need to post a link or something like that, post a link, But there you go. Well, you always, what is that comment there? Oh, geez, I missed that comment now. You always, see, I don't know. I saw something in there, and then you guys post something in there, and then you take something out of there. Anyone else waiting for Clancy verdict? Yeah. Sad Kenny picked over Troy. Well, I have to be friends with Troy and I have to be friends with Kenny. So even if Kenny you might perceive him as not being a great guy or whatever, he's changed. He's actually a changed person, man. Now that he's some things have happened to him and he's had the police visit him and stuff like that. If you have watched him on his latest streams, he's not yelling at people. He's not swearing at people. He's not calling people out. He's just actually being quite a nice guy. And he was actually quite a nice guy to me in his chat, I just thought about it and I thought, well, okay, I'll just, and all I can say is sorry to Troy for removing your wrench because you being a pretty good guy. But Troy, you have to admit, you hang around the Catamus Rex lefty channels and you're kind of are perceived as being, a kind of a lefty person. And you guys know that I'm not like pro lefty. And a lot of people have told me, what do you got Troy in there? Troy's a lefty hanging around with those lefties. And Troy, I don't know, are you a lefty or not? I don't know. But as it turns out, I ended up just removing your wrench, and that's all there is to it. I don't really like to get into these wrench type things, and I tried to run my channel before without having any wrenches in it whatsoever. And the problem with that is that you need some wrenches and you need somebody with a wrench to be in there because I have people coming into my chat that are just plain idiots that need to be banned or timed out or whatever once in a while. So I need to be able to say, hey, do that, because I'm not sitting looking at my channel. I don't really have the ability to ban people when I'm sitting here looking at StreamYard or EV Mux or whatever, because when I see the comments and I click on this button and a comment comes up on my screen, I'm pretty limited as to what I can do with somebody that made that comment. I can, let me just see what exactly can I do. I can block the user. That's all I can do. I can't even time anybody out here. I can actually block that user using EV here. StreamYard is different. I think you can block them in StreamYard, but I don't think you can time them out. They don't have that function on EV. You have to go over to the browser, open up the browser, look at the chat in the browser, and then I have the buttons to be able to do stuff to people. So, anyways, that's all I'm saying with that. Yeah, maybe I'll be able to see your comment there, Troy, if you repost it in there, whatever. Kenny and Notley are traitors to Alberta. I will absolutely agree with that. Yeah, nice that you said that, Daryl Robinson. Kenny and Notley are traitors to Alberta. They are calling for Albertans to sacrifice their jobs, livelihood, and economy for a mess that the Liberals have created. Screw Canada for even suggesting it. Yeah, exactly. I was kind of, amazed to see that because Kenny is conservative and Notley is NDP, so they're like on two sides of the fence, and they're both, calling for Alberta to stay in Confederation. They're like anti. Guys like me that are Alberta independents. And by the way, tomorrow there's going to be a huge rally starting at 1:00 Mountain Daylight Time at the Alberta Legislative grounds or Legislature grounds in Edmonton. And I'll be going live out there tomorrow, so look forward to that happening, a big live happening. So we'll see how many people show up there. I would guess that there are going to be thousands of people. Exactly how many? I don't care if it's 2,000 or 15,000. There will be thousands of people down there. Let's talk about it. Conversations matter. Yeah, Troy. Okay. We'll talk about it. Yeah. But anyways, Crackhead Kenny was extremely pissed off at you. So whatever you did, you pissed him off to the point that you saw what he was doing. He actually was doing streams where for his whole stream he was calling me out, right? So whatever you did, like what you mods do, you have to be extremely careful because what you do reflects on me. Okay, and I have nothing against Crackhead Kenny, nothing whatsoever. Like, he used to be, putting up DOA, right? And sort of a fanboy of DOAs. And then all of a sudden DOA threw him under the bus, called him a bad actor or whatever. And then he was like anti-DOA. So I was like, yeah, I'm kind of anti-DOA too, because, I used to restream DOA and was watched him all through his, stuff that was happening with the convoy and with Scientology and all that shit, and really, at the end of the day, let's face it, DOA is just a trouble causer that is out there for to prop himself up, get him some subs, and get him some people, some donors and stuff like that, and get people to donate to him. And he ended up being the master of his own demise. And like I've said a long time ago, it doesn't matter whether you're good or bad. You're always going to have people that rally around you and donate to you, and are going to prop you up. And they especially don't. It's funny that people on the internet, especially, will donate to people that they perceive as being doing something good. Okay, that they perceive as being good, or they'll donate to people that they perceive as being are going to crash and burn, or they'll sub to them and watch them because they want to watch the drama. They want to see the guy crash and burn. And that's why DOA has a lot of people watching him, because they love to see him crash and burn. They want to see him go to jail or whatever. And then you've got those people that are like, oh no, don't go to jail. Here, I'll donate $1,000 to you or whatever for your lawyer so that you don't go to jail. Right. So Kenny ended up being like totally against it. It's the same thing as Sticker Chick. Sticker Chick was DOA's best supporter in the world, meeting up with him, going over to the J6 thing and protesting the J6ers, the two of them, Sticker Chick and DOA, and then he ends up maybe, I don't know what happened. He threw her under the bus or whatever, maybe called her a bad actor. And then all of a sudden she's like got a hate channel on for him as well. So, it's like DOA has got people that love him to begin with. And then they find out what's going on. Then he throws them under the bus and then they end up hating him. So like, really, that's really my only involvement with Crackhead Kenny, is that he loved DOA and then all of a sudden he's hating DOA. So I'm going, hey, that's okay in my book because he's done that to so many people, In fact, with me, he said, hey, Tommy, you can restream me. I don't care. Do what you want. But and then he starts saying, well, I associate with PEDO type supporters and stuff like that, which, if you're like 3 degrees away from whatever he's talking about and you come over into my chat or whatever, I don't restrict who comes into my chat. People can come in and whatever. I really don't like banning people unless people are doxers, right? If you're a doxer, you'll probably be banned from here. Like 2 people in particular right now in my mind would be Catamus Rex and Dean Wall. Dean Wall. I like to point you guys out every time I go live here because you guys, are absolute doxers there, and you've got a little hit channel over there where you guys rally around. And in fact, you even don't like Jack there now. Jack used to be, running the hit channel with everybody, and now you've taken over from him, and now you're even got a big hate on for Jack there, Troll Central. So that's funnier than hell that's happened, right? Yeah. Well, hey, you may not like what people are doing or saying, but at the end of the day, I like to have peace with everybody, okay? Except people that dox, right? Oh, and by the way, he said that you doxed him. He said that you doxed his location or something like that, Troy. So that's one of the reasons that he really got pissed off at you because you did that, right? Yeah, all Troy did was he said he knows where you're at. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Hey, but what do I have to do with that? Nothing. I didn't dox him. I didn't say where he was standing. I had nothing to do with it. But Troy, because you're a mod in my channel and you're timing him out or doing whatever you did to him when he comes into my channel to say something or to get pissed off at you, you're using your wrench against him, and then you guys are all saying, "Oh, he's a bad guy. Take his wrench away." So I took away Kenny's wrench, and I'm taking away Troy's wrench because I just don't want to have anything to do with your guys' fight. Okay, it's not my fight. I've got nothing to do with it, and I really could care less about it, right? And I need to just move on with the rest of the world, right? The rest of the world is still chugging along. But whatever you guys are up to there, it's not a good situation, and you need to just plain stop it. Stop it already. We need to move on with things that are bigger and better, shall we say. Okay. Yeah, let me move on to this story here. Give you a few more bits from the internet here. Hang on a second. Let me just resize this a little bit so that it will actually fit into my screen here. And yeah, something like this is better. Okay, so here's our next story here. And it's about Carney. Let's bring it in here. Let's listen to this one here.
But not too far north, as 90% of Canadians actually live close to the U.S. border. Many come here for health care, even though they have free health care there. Now, in Canada, they rely on this country, the United States, your country, for revenue, for military protection, for oil refineries, for technology, medical, pharmaceutical advancements. And how are we repaid for our friendship and for our kindness? Now, for years before Donald Trump, was president, the only thanks we ever got were massive tariffs. And now we're getting hit with a lot of threats and a lot of anger and a lot of disdain. Any moment, President Trump, he attempts to negotiate a free, fair, reciprocal trade deal. Well, this is what happens. Take a look.
Doug Ford also told the Associated Press that if this fight gets worse, the way he put it is everything.
This woman here that she's talking to is the mayor of Toronto. This the Oriental lady here, and honestly, she's not the brightest person in the world.
Is on the table, including cutting off electricity from Ontario going into the United States. Do you support that move?
Well, whatever it takes.
Hang on a second. My mistake for doing that. Hang on. Let me go back here. One half a second here. She doesn't answer the question. She doesn't actually answer the question here at all. A typical politician, you'll notice that she kind of gives a different answer than the question that's asked. But yeah, at the end of the day, just a typical politician. I'll just play it again here. But anyways, the lady is the mayor of Toronto. And like I said, she's not the brightest person in the world. She's asked the question. She doesn't really answer the question. But Doug Ford wants to cut off electricity to the United States. So that's what she's being asked about, whether or not she supports that move. Personally, I don't support any move for cutting off any kind of energy to the United States because you can't make a deal with the United States. That's just plain
told the
stupidity.
Associated Press that if this fight gets worse, the way he put it is everything is on the table, including cutting off electricity from Ontario going into the United States. Do you support that move?
Well, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Upping the price of
No.
electricity, we have to get attention because this cannot continue.
Proactively cutting off electricity going into the United States. You would support that move as a measure to get the U.S. to the negotiating table.
Well, I think whatever our premier needs to do.
Now,
Oh,
with
my
friends
God.
like that, who needs enemies? But it does get worse. At the outset of these negotiations earlier this year, Canada's far-left prime minister, he just jetted off
Far
to
left.
Beijing.
That's
he
true.
promoted a new strategic partnership, with the communist Chinese, the very same China
Yeah,
that
that's the point, is that, since Trump put up these tariffs or wants to increase tariffs with Canada, Canada's been cozying up with China, and I don't know what you Canadians think about that. I totally dislike that. I totally think that's a bad idea. Let's face it, they're a communist country. It's like you want to cozy up with any communist country, Russia, China, or any other communist country in the world. It is not a good idea, okay, to cozy up to them and to basically turf your association with the United States. It's actually really stupid to do that.
invaded Canada's sovereignty with at least one high-altitude spy balloon. But by the way, no problem, because the U.S. came to the rescue. We shot it down because Canada.
Yeah, I remember doing that story about the. We did the whole thing. I did about a 4-hour story with the spy balloons going across Canada and the United States, and the one that was up in I think it was the Yukon. The Americans actually, got their fighter jet up there and shot the balloon down. The Canadians couldn't even shoot down a frickin' spy balloon. Like we rely on the Americans to protect our territory.
They don't have the capability of shooting it down. Needless to say, Canada has totally lost the plot. Now, maybe if they are ever threatened or attacked, does America say, well, you're not good partners, you're on your own? Now, all of this is a warning.
That's what's going to happen.
What will happen to our country 69 days from now if radicalized Democrats get their way and win a midterm? Canada's become so woke, so far left, so anti-Trump, so radical socialist left. They have become crazy climate alarmists, and they're wrapped up in this idiotic land acknowledgement, whatever scheme of theirs, gender theory.
Holy
that
jeez.
they seem to view communism.
Yeah, land acknowledgement. Just give the land away. Cozy up to this drip undrip bullshit that the globalists have brought in. Like recognize it, embrace it, make it law, and then you just start giving the land away willy nilly. Look at what's happening in British Columbia. What a bunch of freaking idiots! What a bunch of woke socialists. Just unbelievable what's happening to Canada. Just we're doomed under the wokeism that's going on here. And even the American. This is Fox News, by the way, is where this report is coming from. These guys are not stupid. They're pointing out exactly what's going on, and you guys are like the boiling frog out there, where you see it happening, or you don't even realize that it's happening all around you, or if you do see it, you just don't really care about it. But it is dooming Canada. This is not becoming a place where you want to invest in, where you want to build anything up in, because you just may as well give it all away at the end of the day. Why even work for anything? Well, just do what the NDP wants you to do, which is work for the government. We'll have government-controlled food stores, and you'll have a little apartment owned by the government that you can rent, and they'll own your cell phone, they'll own the internet, and all you have to do is just collect your welfare check.
And the communist Chinese is a better partner than the U.S.
Yeah, that's about it. That's where we're down to. The communist Chinese are a better friend than the USA. That's what we're coming down to here. Thank you very much, Mark Carney, for doing that. Thank you very much for convincing Canadians that it's bad Orange Man, and that we need to listen to what you're doing and cozy up with frickin' China. This is absolute stupidity. It is craziness, and I think that that we need to be a little bit smarter than where we're at. Like it's a bunch of imbeciles out there, and now you've got this business where Trump has said, look, we'll make a deal with you, and in order to, and you may think that's coercion or whatever, or blackmail or whatever, to say something like, make a deal or else we'll tariff you 50%, because that's basically what Trump did, right? It was like, make a deal, or if you're not going to make a deal, we'll just tariff you 50%. So the stupid Carney and the rest of his politicians end up walking away from any kind of a deal, and they go, oh well, you're playing around with French sovereignty within Canada, and for that reason he runs over to Quebec and starts blabbing to them that, oh, bad Orange Man is trying to mess with you French people, so we need your votes on these by-elections, with that kind of crap. And, and with a bunch of other stuff that apparently is turning out to be a bunch of bullshit, where all he's trying to do is get people to vote for him. It's like Carney wants to keep that bad Orange Man persona going, so that he can get votes, right? Be up in the polls, because that's the reason that he actually was 20% up in the election, because he ended up making Trump being the boogeyman up here in Canada, and he got all of the liberals out there to like vote. In fact, even got more people to vote for him, for Carney, because of him making Trump look like the bad guy out there. And it's ridiculous that kind of stuff is happening. Absolutely ridiculous. We need to do better than that. And they're trying to tell people to buy American or Canadian products up here in Canada, right? This is the other thing that's going on here. And they've got the CBC has been running around each province hunting down grocery stores who don't comply with labeling where their food comes from, right? So that if something comes from the United States, that it can be labeled so that you don't buy stuff that's coming from the United States. You need to obey with the rules of the groupthink hordes, or you'll be hunted down if you step out of line in Canada. What a nightmare this country has become. Like, unbelievable. Look at this story here coming to us from
looking to support
from supermarkets. Hang on, let me just center this properly here so that you can see the story. This one here is about supermarkets, and like when you buy a head of lettuce, or some something that's just generic, how do you know where it comes from? Like like celery or something like that. Like, this is getting ridiculous here. Absolutely ridiculous.
There's no label anywhere. I want to know where my food comes.
Just bigger signs, or I mean, could be like the LC, sort out the US product.
If it's a Canadian brand, that's what I'm going for.
Inside the store, it's clear where some produce was grown. But for other bulk products like green onion, cabbage, and limes, that information is not displayed. There's no sticker on some produce or information on some price tags. As the Canadian economy is hit with US tariffs, Smith and other customers say the store needs to do more to promote local.
So I don't think they're in step with public sentiment.
Canadians politically and nationally are looking to support ourselves, support our economy.
In a statement, Superstore owner Loblaw says they're taking steps to make the Canadian products easier to find. A T symbol will be added to items directly sourced from the U.S. that are affected by tariffs, and country of origin information will be back at the fresh produce aisle. A food industry expert says that's going to be challenging.
Having staff who will take the time and attention and have the knowledge to say, okay, this is a product of Canada and this isn't.
According to federal regulations, imported and prepackaged fresh produce needs to show its country of origin. There are no requirements for Canadian fruits or vegetables to be labeled as local. The chain hasn't said when the customers will notice more labels.
Yeah. So now they have to start being more particular and saying product of Canada or product of USA or whatever, so that Canadians can, not buy the stuff from the States. Or if something is taxed from the States, they have to put some kind of a letter T on it, showing that you're paying extra tax on that item because it comes from the United States. They're trying to do that kind of crap here now. It's getting to be a little bit unbelievable as to exactly what's going on. Yeah, Canada is really turning into what I would call a shithole. And here's another one here where these are the people that we're importing into Canada. Like, unbelievable. Check this out. Oh, hang on. Can't give the music here. But this is coming to us from Canada. Look at these people. They're willy-nilly just shooting weapons, all kind of weapons. I don't even know if those are legal weapons or whatever. Just shooting them out in the countryside there. They go out there and just shoot them into the air all over the place, point them at whatever people. They've got lots of money. They've got nice cars, Mustangs and Dodges and all kind of stuff. And they're out there just blowing up the environment, don't give a shit about what goes on. These are the people that we're importing into Canada. What is the Liberal government doing? Why are these people coming in? Why are they allowed to stay in here? And, if you want to talk about who should be deported, these people should be deported. Look he's got a Palestinian flag on there. These are the people that are against the East Indian government. And they're the ones that are, making these little tribes of groups, whatever. They've got weapons. They've already said to the RCMP, yeah, we're set up right across Canada, and we're willing to do something. We don't know exactly what they're going to do. They posted videos with them shooting weapons and all kind of stuff like this. It's getting ridiculous. Liberals, what the hell are you doing? This is what happens when you have mass immigration. And I know there's those of you out there that go, oh, well, I love these people. I did one video where we showed the students that were protesting. And the liberals of the world that watch my channel are over in Cannabis Rex channel going, oh, well, I would love to have one of them over for dinner at my house or whatever, Oh, what about these people? What about these people with the weapons, shooting off their weapons? Would you love to have them coming over to your place and living with you, live in your spare bedroom, have dinner with you or something like that? What about these people, huh? What about that? Because you know what? They're pretty much the same people. The same people, exactly. Edward Camp, Tommy just can't make up his mind whether he wants to support Canada or Trump. I absolutely do not support the Liberal government within Canada. Period. There's no doubt about that. You guys must know that by now. I'm not a Liberal. I don't support Carney. I don't support the way he negotiates. I don't support the things that he's spending money on in Canada. And I absolutely don't like him as a Prime Minister of Canada. I could be a better Prime Minister of Canada. I could do a better job as Prime Minister. And I'm just average Joe out here watching what's happening, but I don't like what he's doing, right? And he basically is running Canada into the ground. He's costing us more money. We've got these tariffs that are coming on here. They're going to be at 50%. People are going to be losing their jobs. And he's just a really piss poor negotiator, right? That's what my thought is with Carney. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is an alpha male who's doing a good job of bringing the jobs back to the United States. He's trying to make America great again. And, I see him as being absolutely a way better leader than Mark Carney. Okay, that's my take on that, Edward Cam. Take it as you will. Take it, what, do I love Trump? No, I don't love everything that he's doing, but I do see him as a far better leader than Mark Carney. Mark Carney is like a wussy that is only out there for votes, and the way he garners votes is by going, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, right? And trying to get all of his followers, all of his liberals like you, to be like anti-Trump in order to keep voting for Mark Carney. And I think that that's a despicable way of garnering votes, You know what I mean? That's my take on the whole thing. It's not that I like Trump or hate Trump. It's that I really don't like Mark Carney. And I think that, like I said, I could do a better job than Mark Carney, right? That's all that I'm saying. Okay, let's flip over to this story here. This is over in Russia. Russia, excuse my choking here. And over in Russia, they're having problems with fuel, right? They're really short of fuel to the point that their police cars, look at, these are all police cars that are lined up for fuel at a gas station. So not only do they have lineups for the people in Russia because of the lack of gas in the freaking country, but even the police vehicles are lining up to fill up with fuel. Wow, what kind of a country is that you don't even have fuel for your police vehicles? Look at that. That's like unbelievable that that's happening. Now I'm kind of jumping all over the place here at this point. So we'll just give you the stuff as it sort of rolls down here. I don't have somebody that's working for me in the background, except for my good friend Magpie here, my Magpie friend here. I've got them, but they don't really do a good job of working on my program here at all. They're just kind of in the background eating the crap that I put out there for them. We've got this story coming to you from the illustrious premier of the province of Alberta, where the other premiers are trying to tell her to cut off fuel to the United States, and that'll get them to bargain or negotiate with Carney a little bit better. So this is what she has to say about cutting off fuel supplies to you Americans out there.
If Canada were to put, let's say, a 50% export tariff on the 4 million barrels of oil that we export daily to the United States would immediately respond with a 50 to 100% export tariff on oil and natural gas that they export to Ontario, along with millions of barrels of diesel fuel.
Well, that would probably be a good thing, because that would teach Doug Ford a lesson to not mess around with the states. If the states did do that to Doug Ford. In fact, they could probably do that right now, right? But anyways, yeah, I have to agree with Danielle Smith on this. It's not a good idea to cut off supplies of anything to the Americans in order to get them to bargain with us.
And gasoline that Ontario and Quebec import from the Midwest. If we cut off our oil entirely, what then? The same results, but even worse. The United States would, of course, respond and cut off all gasoline and diesel from their refineries to Ontario and Quebec. Do we really want this outcome? I certainly don't. If Canada were to put...
So that's Premier Danielle Smith's take on this negotiation thing here that's going on with Trump and Carney, that it would be a stupid thing. And Doug Ford is the one that's coming up with that idea. I think some of the other premiers are as well, to cut off things that are being supplied down to the States, like potash for the farming, for fertilizers and stuff like that. Just plain a bad idea, and I don't think that we should do it. You've got even some Americans, though, are pissed off with Donald Trump. We've got this story coming in to us from... let's see, who is it? Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams. He's got Granny on here. I don't know. Is this you? Is this what you think about Donald Trump? Let's watch this story with Granny on here. Come on, Granny. So I think she's got a little bit of Trump derangement syndrome. And let's listen to what she has to say about Donald Trump.
The fucking money! You hear me? It's the fucking money! He's pocketing all of it, and you and I are spending it at the rate of $1 trillion every fucking 5 months.
Somebody come get that, Granny.
Have any idea how much $1 trillion is?
Somebody come. Is anybody back there? Come get y'all, Granny.
If we try
TDS
to pay it back,
I know somebody back there. Come and get y'all, Granny.
It would take 2,738 fucking days. No, not days, years.
Now I know some y'all grandma in here acting a fool.
Folks, I don't know about you,
Oh, man.
but that scares the beat Jesus out of me.
Oh, jeez.
Y'all, this is the truth. I'm sorry.
There's your Democrat out there.
Oh, man. This is the true definition of TDS. When we talk about Trump derangement syndrome, this is what we talking about.
But unfortunately, this is what Carney is trying to promote up here in Canada, right? It's like Orange Batman, and getting him whipped up to the point that Canadians, the average Canadian, is just like grandma here.
We are talking about, y'all, these people are absolutely insane, mentally ill. I love Donald Trump. I love you, but you bringing out all the crazies is coming out of the woodworks, all of them. Whew, I don't know what we're gonna do with these.
Yeah, I got. Let me watch that one more time. This is actually pretty good. I like this.
The fucking money! You hear me? It's the fucking money! He's pocketing all of it, and you and I are spending it at the rate of $1 trillion.
She's like the elbows up crowd up here in Canada. Oh shit. This is so funny. So ridiculous. Oh, it's funny.
Every fucking 5 months.
Somebody come get that, Granny.
Have any idea how much?
Hang on. I'm live right now. Yeah, is that her sandwich from yesterday? Yeah, just half of one.
I know. I'm going to give you one.
Okay, give it to me on the plate.
No, hold the heart.
Hang on, I'm live right now. Okay, sorry about that. My wife was trying to feed me something there. Hang on. Interrupted my train of thought there.
$1 trillion is?
Somebody come. Is anybody back there? Come get your granny.
If we tried to pay it back,
I know somebody back there. Come and get your granny.
it would take 2,738 fucking days. No.
Oh man. Yeah. What's the link? What's the link you guys want dropped there? I don't know what's going on in the chat there because it's going by too fast there. And but I see that that super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate a super chat. Please drop link for Troy. So what are you talking about? What link? Interrupting my train of thought. Not sure what's going on. Other than I like the TDS that this lady has. Like she's like the epitome of what Trump actually does to the Democrats out there and driving them absolutely insane. Yeah, you're right. Mental illness. Is there a mod out there that knows what's going on and can drop that link that Troy is talking about there, or whatever that link is out there? We could look after that, Ashley, because I don't know what you guys are talking about. What is the link? There's a mod out there. Fry is in there. I think Troy wants to talk to you on a panel. Oh, I see. On a panel. Well, yeah, but this isn't a panel show here today. I'm just doing a little, giving you the latest news and stuff like that. And you know what those panels are like. I get into a panel and all of a sudden it ends up being a shit show, right? Panels are a shit show. You guys know that. In fact, I had a guy with you guys saw my last show that I did, and some guy that was on was Christine's panel comes in here and starts saying, "Oh, Tommy, your channel is shit, and you know what you're talking about, and it's the worst channel on the internet, and blah blah blah," this kind of bullshit and stuff like that. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's not good. Okay, I know what you're talking about though. Okay, at the end here, I'll drop a link. Okay, I'll drop the link at the end. So yeah, just remind me. Not right at the moment here. Okay, so what's happening to these people that are invading? You have all these Moroccan people from North Africa that are invading Ceuta, and the people in Spain are actually getting pissed off at them there now. And this report is just coming in of what's happening over there in Spain right at the moment. Look at this. These people are not happy with these migrants that are showing up there. Unfreaking believable. Look at this. They're going into some kind of a migrant encampment, the Spanish people, and they're just destroying the whole thing. And then you've got the police that show up that are trying to stop these people, the Spanish people, from basically destroying the migrant encampment over in Spain, because the Spanish people are sick and tired of these people coming in over the border and taking advantage of their women and stuff like that, and causing a bunch of hate and discontent in the country. So the Spanish people are taking the law into their own hands and going into where their encampment is and basically turfing it, trashing it. And then you've got the police that show up that are basically trying to stop the Spanish people from doing this. So you can see a whole bunch of police show up there and end up trying to do something about it. But anyways, that's what this story is about. The Spanish patriots, so-called patriots in Ceuta, are not joking anymore. And that's what this is all about. They're taking the law into their own hands and doing something about it. They're pissed off. And that's what happens when the globalists of the world try and put mass immigration onto countries. Some countries are starting to push back now, and the actual people where this stuff is starting to affect the people are actually pushing back. Not a good situation, but that's what's happening. So there you've got the police show up, and the police are kind of pushing back on them there, getting them to stop trying to trash the encampments there. And guys like this guy here, the Spanish people are pissed off with what's going on there. So we came up with that story today, which is interesting. With regards to the Canada thing here, we've got Ambassador Mike Waltz reveals Canada PM Mark Carney is trying to weaponize trade policy with the U.S. Yeah, that's what's happening. This weaponization of the whole thing. Let's watch this little story here of what his take is on the whole Mark Carney Trump thing here.
Number two, in the case of Canada, I have spoken with Secretary Bessent, with our great trade rep, Jameson Greer. The deal was basically done, except that then Prime Minister Carney started to realize this was bad politics for him. He has run on being the tough guy against Trump. Elements of the deal, which was a fair deal on all sides, started to leak out, and suddenly
this is what we're hearing.
He sends in some of his political team on top of the negotiating team and pulls out and starts spinning. One of the pieces of the spin, to your point on China, was that we were demanding that Canada not enter into other types of trade agreements. That's absolutely not true. What the team said was, look, if we're going to give you very favorable tariff status, we're going to give you the best deal of any other country that we trade with in the world. You can't then let China take advantage, what they call transshipment, and start dumping their goods into Canada just to dump their goods in the United States. And we're right back where we've been for many, many administration. So you've got to raise, Canada, your tariffs on China, importantly, like Mexico has done. And I have to tell you what, in contrast to Prime Minister Carney, Sheinbaum down in Mexico has worked well with us, has established a good relationship with the president, is working with us not just on cartels and national security, but also on these trade issues. At the end of the day, President Trump's going to put the American worker first.
All right, I got to get in on this because Mr. Ambassador, Carney created a new position in his office for a woman named Maya Johnson, who had been advising him on U.S.-Canada trade policy. Now, Ms. Johnson happens to have been a major player in Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign and was even in the WikiLeaks published John Podesta emails. So,
like I have an issue with that Mark Carney would hire into his government as a COO working right underneath Mark Carney, a woman who is American, who is a Democrat American, who worked with Hillary Clinton, and he brings her into my country and to be part of his government, and that is absolutely despicable for him to do that. Mark Carney, shame on you for doing that. There's another good reason why Mark Carney should be turfed right out of government. And the Liberals are like, oh, we don't care that he hires an American Democrat. We think that that's okay. It's just like that he's given so much business to the Brookfield Corporation. They're like, oh, I don't care about that. I'll buy Brookfield stock and I'll get rich off of owning Brookfield stock and stuff like that. That's what these liberals, elbows up people think. And it's absolute craziness to see that kind of stuff happen. It's like Mark Carney is a freaking traitor as far as I'm concerned. If you want to, and there's another reason why Alberta should actually get the hell out of Canada, because this is absolutely ridiculous what's going on.
There is a theory among some of my sources that she and others from the United States got in the ear of the Carney folks and said, look, we think Trump is vulnerable. We think you can hurt him in places like Maine and Michigan by walking away from this deal, and you'll get a much better deal after the midterms and actually help hurt the Republicans going forward. I know that sounds quite devious, but it's a little odd, don't you think?
No, it doesn't sound devious. It sounds just about par with what Carney would be doing, because we know that he has used Trump derangement syndrome to his advantage all through his tenure when he was running around Canada, with different rallies and stuff. He was bashing Trump like crazy all over the place, and all of the elbows up people are like, yeah, let's bash Trump, and we're all for Carney. Keep bashing Trump, and so he kept on doing it because he knows that it gives him numbers with the liberal voters out there.
Hillary Clinton advisor at the top of the Canadian government, acting as such an important player at this time?
Well, there's the politics of that, Laura. I do sense, and I'm hearing from a number of the folks in the administration that have been dealing with him, that they do think they can turn the tides on the president in the midterm by holding out on this. But it's also about their domestic politics, too. Quebec has provincial elections coming. I would be very careful if I were the prime minister that he doesn't then come back to even a worse deal after this.
Yeah. No, I saw that Trump came out with a thing with regards to Trump is destroying American farmers. No, Trump is actually coming out with the ability for farmers to process their own meat and not have meat being processed by big four processing corporations, right? He wants those small farms to actually thrive by being able to either set up smaller shops to be able to process the meat, or to have the farmers process their own meat. He just came out with that. I just saw it today where he's promoting that whole thing. So Trump is actually trying to help the small farmer from what I see out there. So, and he wants American farmers to be able to sell their dairy products, more of their dairy products within Canada, which we have these cartels in Canada that are basically screwing us Canadians by propping up the prices that we have to pay for everything here, and also with not allowing very much American dairy or dairy products into Canada. So yeah, the Trump derangement syndrome is going big all over the place, and yeah, I don't really see it in a lot of cases. Trump is not the best person in the world, let's face it. But yeah, is he the worst person in the world? No, I don't think so. I think he is trying to make America great again. This is Lake America here. And up here in Canada, now the beavers, the birds, the moose, they're all wearing, and the fish, they're all wearing Trump hair pieces here because, yeah, now it's like Lake America now. So, yeah, we're all having to change up here in Canada to kind of go with the program. We have to go with the program here now. Yeah, okay. Let me see what else we have here that's of interest. Oh, Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley. You know that Nick Shirley has been over in California. He's been hitting up on these daycares, fake daycares, and all the people running these fake daycares and stuff like that in the Midwest. And now he's gone into California. The Californians have brought in this new law, and there was a really good video that I was watching. I was actually going to do a replay of it, but I won't be able to be live here all day. But he had Antifa was against him. He had a real big protest. I think it was in Sacramento or somewhere in California. Nick Shirley was down there, and they had a lot of good speakers and stuff like that. But anyways, in this particular bit here, Nick Shirley leaves the New York Times reporter speechless after she attempts to defend the Stop Nick Shirley Act, which is a bill designed to effectively silence journalists who expose fraud. This is exactly why nobody trusts the media. Let's listen to this story.
So I was the people who are supporting this bill, like they say that has nothing to do with you, they introduced it long before you had come to California, that it's really not about your work here.
Not true.
Why do you say it's not true?
Because I announced on January 31st I was coming to California. I had already filmed the videos. The word had already gotten out that I filmed inside these immigration support service providers. And then they created the bill before I published the video.
Well, they say that it has to do with work, like experiences that immigration service providers have been having for quite a long time, including last year. Like that they were not aware of your work when they felt that there was a need for this bill.
It's a lie, quite frankly. And there's already laws out for people that are being doxxed and for people that are being threatened. There's no need for this bill. They're making a protected class by specifically saying immigration support service providers. And then they say included but not limited to, and they list a whole bunch. But what does that exactly mean? It's so broad that quite literally anything underneath them could be an immigration support service provider. There's 10 million immigrants here inside the state of California.
So my understanding is that the bill actually like adds immigration services to existing categories of people who already had this same safe at home protection.
Yeah, so they're putting them inside of this new program, yet they don't actually, they're making a new protected class for people that work inside immigration support service programs. There's already laws for people that are being doxxed and threatened. That safe at home programs for people who are trying to escape their predators that are attacking them.
And so what is it that like you feel that you've done that would be prohibited by this law? Because
have you read the bill?
Yeah, it does say that it only applies, like someone has to apply for this protection. It's not like they automatically get it. They have to show that they're being threatened, that they have like a law enforcement in like approval. And then
so imagine a fraudster who knows he's committing fraud. He's like, oh, well, now underneath this bill, if I'm committing fraud, I'm just going to go enroll into this program. And therefore, when someone comes up to expose my fraud, I can just give them a written paper, a written demand, and they can't publish the video according to the law.
And you think they could easily just
that's ridiculous.
That they're being like facing a threat?
The harassment, it says harassment on that bill. It says unwelcomed visitation, unwelcome visits, like unreasonable fear.
Okay.
If I go expose a fraudster, are they going to be fearful? Well, of course.
Okay. And then what about the part of the bill that says like it's only unlawful to post the information if you're doing so to incite violence or make a threat? Like if you're just posting it for information to inform the public, that wouldn't be a violation, would it?
Who's to say that? Who's to say that if I expose it and then I expose it to somebody else and then a third party comes in and incites violence or harassment? What does that mean? That means that they could literally hire somebody to go commit the crime and say that third party was because of Nick Shirley. Then Nick Shirley is responsible of that crime. And then we're going to give Nick Shirley a $4,000
Yeah, that's the worst bill ever.
So you as a journalist, if you go expose a Leering Center, do you know what a Leering Center is?
I watched your videos about that.
Okay, yeah. So if you go expose a Leering Center where there's no kids at the daycare, they receive $1.9 million, and it just opens up a whole entire fraud ring, and then I expose it, a bunch of other people come in and say someone throws, I don't know, say somebody paintballs the building, right? They cause fear for that building, and then you're responsible for the actions of a third party. But that fraud was real. So like how it completely breaks the trust and the amendment of the freedom of press by putting other crimes upon another person for reporting the truth. People said the Minnesota fraud wasn't true for a long time. And now we're seeing that people are being arrested nearly each and every single week, and people are pleading guilty to that fraud. But the Democrats and the mainstream media said that fraud wasn't real.
Yeah, he's got a good point here that, you can't start making laws that if that's how ridiculous the Democrats are and the left-leaning woke people, like the people that are running California, where, they don't want somebody to come in and expose fraud. Like, how stupid can you be? Really, that's just so democratic. It is unbelievable. And, that you may as well paint the Democrats and the people that follow them with that kind of a brush, that they just want people to abuse the taxpayers, steal money, weasel money out of them. And if anybody comes around and tries to expose them, any kind of a media person like Nick Shirley, just blackball them and say, oh, if you expose somebody and then if somebody comes later and causes some harm or makes somebody feel bad about something that you exposed them about, well, we'll sue you, take you to court or whatever, make it a bill so that you end up being thrown in jail. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous that they would do something like that. Not a good situation at all. We don't like it. Here's a guy that came to Canada, and yeah, let's see what he has to say about life in Canada. What do you say about Canada? Is Canada such a great place to live here? You immigrated here. Let's hear what you have to say.
What is the biggest thing you regret in life?
I regret in life? I regret coming to Canada because if I had stayed in the Caribbean, I would have been way better. I came to Canada. I worked, I don't know, maybe 20 years. I had to go back to my country. 7 years, living here for 20 years, 7 years in my country, give me enough money to buy 2 properties in Canada cash. 7 years, 7. And 20 years here just paying rent and nothing. It tells me Canada is just a trap. I own property and it's hard for me. So imagine people who come from different countries for the first year and you're wasting your time. You're going to stress out. You're going to go crazy and you're going to die in less than 10 years. When in your country, which would have been harder, you live for another 40, 50 years. No matter how bad it is in your country, it's only going to get worse here. I'm telling you the truth. I travel the world and live a good life, all kind of stuff. Idea of Canada is to get out of Canada, not get in. And I've realized that between America and Canada, the people who are living back in their country are living better than us who are living over here.
Wow. So hang on a second. My question would be, why wouldn't you just move back to your own country and live there if it's such a good place to live? And well, hang on. What was he actually doing in his own country to make so much money in 7 years that he could come back to Canada and buy 2 houses cash? You know, yeah, there's more to that story than what you hear. But yeah, the moral of the story is just stay where you are. Stay in your own country. Try and do what you're doing in your own country and make a buck, whatever, and be happy in the country that you're living in. You don't need to be going to some other country, right? Maybe that's what he's trying to say. I don't know. Okay, let me drop that link. Hang on a second here. Let me just copy the link, and we will drop the link, and Troy can come up here and say his bit of the story. But just keep in mind, I don't know anything about Kenny, right? Short of he was a leg rider of DOA's, and then he ended up being in DOA's black book and getting thrown under the bus and not being a friend of DOA's. Okay, I never really followed him. I never really watched him. I don't know anything else about him. Short of he came into my channel, I gave him a wrench because I appreciated the fact that he was he had a channel and that he was doing some stuff to bash DOA, which I thought, hey, that's okay that you're doing that. I said hi to him. He was friendly with me in his chat, whatever, and like that's really about all I know about Kenny. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's where I come on the whole situation. And then what happened was in my chat. I think Kenny was saying some stuff that was really, really negative about Troy because Troy and him were both fighting. So I took away Kenny's wrench, and then Kenny did a couple of hit piece jobs on both Troy and me on his channel, right, at that point in time. And then I went into his chat just the other night because he was on Boss's broadcast there. And after that, he went live, whatever, and I just talked to him for a few moments, whatever. And I said, yeah, okay, well, I'll take away Troy's wrench. So that was basically it. So, yeah, that's the story on all I know about Kenny. I don't know anything else about how good of a guy he is or bad of a guy he is or whatever the heck he does. Other than he seemed like he was way more animated and way more vindictive at people a month ago than he was yesterday. Yesterday he was very calm, cool, collected. He wasn't swearing. He wasn't ragging on people. He was just like a normal guy, right? So, and even the last couple of times that I saw him on Boss Talks podcast there, he seemed to be kind of down to earth. Now, I think some people have put some kind of, I don't know whether he got some restraining orders or something against him, but something happened to him legally that maybe made him change his mind with the way he is on. So I don't know if this is Troy or not, but we have somebody named Troy wanting to come up here. So I'll add him to the stage, but I'll just he doesn't have any camera. Troy, you got a camera? Troy, I can hear you if you say something. Troy, are you in there? I can see your thing moving there, but I don't see a camera on you at all. So I don't know that that is Troy. It could be a fake Troy, for all I know. But I'll add him to the scene. I don't hear any audio, by the way, either. So, oh, just hang on a second here. I may have to change something around here because of echo or something like that. Because you're coming in on that whole thing. Just stand by a second, Troy. Let me just go with the audio here. Okay, I got audio D coming in there, which is from me. Because I always have audio problems here whenever I try and run a panel, and I have to take about half an hour to get things all going here. Oh, hang on a second. Let me go into my audio thingy-majiggy here. Open my audio mixer. Open up that particular browser. And yeah, no, it's showing that you're connected to A. Let me just refresh it here for half a second, just to make sure that it is actually working. Okay. Okay, I'm going to bring you up on stage, and let's see if I can hear your audio. Stand by. Okay, Troy, are you in there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, Troy.
Hello? Can you hear me? I can see my microphone jumping.
Yeah, I can see you in there, but I don't hear your audio here in my headset.
I can see the microphone moving.
So it's kind of a botched up thing that I have here, because I'm using two different browsers. I'm using Brave, and I'm using a different one here. And the stuff that comes in on my EV Mux, I should be able to hear you with my cable A here.
Testing.
But for whatever reason, cable A is not working. So I don't
Can y'all
hear any of your
Can
audio
y'all
in here at
hear
all.
me in the chat? I can see the chat on this thing.
And none of your audio is actually coming in on my stream here. But yet I can see your bubble moving as if you are talking. So
Chat saying they can hear me.
yeah, Troy, can you hear me now?
I hear you the whole time.
Yeah, I
And
can
it
see your
looks-
bubble, but I don't see
it
any
look-
audio going out on the stream. So
It looks
there's
like chat
something
can hear
that
me
is
talking.
kafooey here, which is not a good situation.
Kafooey?
Hang on. Let me go into my settings here again on audio. Test audio. Okay, audio input is cable D. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. Hang
Should
on
I
a
sing
second.
while we wait?
Hang on. Cable A. Okay, this might do it here now. I can hear you now, I think, Troy.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
Yeah.
I don't think the audience can hear you.
The chat
So
saying I'm looking at the chat on the thing. It's saying they could hear me the whole time.
oh, they can hear you? Okay.
That's what
That's
the
good.
chat's saying. Unless we just did something and they made it different.
Okay, give me a 1 in the chat right now if you can hear Troy. Okay. We hear him. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I had to change mine because in my audio settings I had to change it over to a different cable so that I don't get an echo because I usually get a bad echo when people come on here. But I think we're okay now. Okay,
Yeah, I can see
go
the
ahead,
little
Troy. I can
microphone
hear you
thing
good. They
dancing
can hear
every
you
time
good.
I talk.
We're good to go. So yeah, I know you're like an old time supporter of my channel. You've been here for an awful long time. Remember, we
Yeah, but
even had
that don't hold
a
no
thing
weight there,
there.
Tommy. Look, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Can you pull up the comment that I was talking about? Was on your previous live in the comment section, not in the live. It was a comment after the live was done with. Can you see that?
Oh, okay. The comments after my last live. Just stand by a
Yeah,
second here and
the
let me.
20-minute live, ever which one it was.
Yeah,
I
it was
wasn't in the.
yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Let me
I
just
wasn't.
view my channel.
I didn't catch it live. I was busy all day yesterday. I didn't even get online, but.
Yeah.
The city owner told me is the coward is to show you gotta see Tommy Temper is the guy. Ask yourself the
Okay,
question,
this is the one
why?
here. And let me just go into the comments here if I can see a comment. Live chat replay. Okay.
Something was going fishy with them comments too, yeah. But it's interesting to see if you could see where I commented. Kind of a long one, a little bit.
Okay. I'm looking at Fry TV said, yes, the mod squad. I do know all about the mods with heavy wrenches.
Not
I
that
pulled
one.
all the
Not that one.
wrenches.
It's my own post. I didn't comment. I commented on some, replied to some of theirs, but this is an actual comment that I commented separate than what Fry first posted. There's some in there that I did reply, questioning whether or not, because there's little ways how you could tell if a comment been seen or not.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I'm just trying to go back. It's not letting. I see where there's 20 comments. Top is selected. You'll see. Was it a reply? Because you got 16 replies on Fry TV comment.
Yeah, it's separate from Fry's. I think you had a mod in there was monitoring it, was blocked, was deleting them. But I wanted to see. Fry started the comment. What you call it? The comment feed, and I just commented straight to the video, so it should be separate than Fry's.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I have to go off of my actual channel and go into the channel dashboard here. Look at my content. Look at my lives. Click on that live. So it's going to take a bit to go through here. You can actually bring the thing up on the stream here. Let me just see where these comments are. Okay, there's the Fry one. Show more replies. Okay, here's your comment. Do you see my comment? Reply in this comment section. Just wondering if it shows or if it's being blocked.
No, that's a reply to Fry's link thing. I'm talking about one that I posted in there.
Okay, show more replies. Hang on. Yeah, Fry got an awful lot of attention on that one. No, I'm not seeing your comment.
Right, I didn't think you did. I knew you didn't, because I think Fry might have misunderstood what I was talking about, because he's talking about the comments that I was replying in his, and that was my point. I was watching it real time, and there's a little tricks of the trade on how to tell whether or not your comments are going through or whatever. And
I can see you.
checking them.
Okay, I can see. Get this. Fry is in there. Fry has 16 replies. Hang on, I've got something else here. Troy says, Kimberly, wow, LOL, not surprised. Thanks for the verification. Then the next thing you say is, Troy says, Fry, you can see my response to Tommy in this comment section. Then you say, if so, it may be because his settings, and you're a mod. Thanks for the verification. Then you say, it appears many are, but sad so. Then you say, just verified again. Many of my comments are not showing up publicly. Weird. Then you say, as long as Tommy can see it, and it's not some rogue mod is my main concern. And then you say, even the total comment numbers are different. LOL, definitely some shenanigans going on. Screenshot it all, no worries. Maybe it's Tommy doing it without saying. And then it's just something Kimberly, and that's it. So
Yeah.
that's
So
all that I
so
see.
what?
But I don't see
Right. But
those
that's what
are.
I'm saying.
I
That's
think
all
those are all
replies.
replies.
That was all
Yes,
replies to where Fry initiated that
correct.
comment. Now
Yeah,
I posted my own and even replied to it when I seen that it wasn't going through. Well, it did go through right off the jump. And I
yeah,
waited a minute, went back and looked. So, call my rogue mods. You got mods that are deleting comment sections of your channel when it doesn't pertain to something, or when it goes against, their likes, I guess you will, or their feelings or whatever you have you. And I don't remember. I got a screenshot, but I probably knocked myself over here to try to pull it up to read it myself. But anyways, the comment was basically saying I may have to. I got a screenshot. I might post it again, see if it actually stays up. But anyways, that was just a prover. Thank you for looking that up and taking the time because I knew what I seen. It ain't my first rodeo. But anyways, so let's get back to the Kenny stuff. And I done said this shit many times. I couldn't take time blue in the damn face. It don't make me no difference. But we're gonna clarify it one more time here because everybody's on here. This shit went down yesterday or whatever, right? As far as this son bitch trying to say I doxed him, right? And I wasn't nothing but cool with that dude until it come up the time where he's talking about I doxed him, and we'll go. And some of the people that's up in here, they're seeing that happen real time, right? Now, a good example. Time if you was at that festival not too long ago. What was it? The festival where you went and live streamed and all that stuff.
Oh, well, it could have been, I don't know, was it an exhibition grounds or
Yeah.
was it a,
Whatever. Any one of them you've been to. All right. Same thing. Now, when Kenny first started, when I seen him, he was going live and whatnot. He was at the Mardi Gras, and I'd go through there and I'd give him a little bit of history on the Mardi Gras or whatever, the parades, the areas and whatnot. Right? Everybody liked that shit. I just did it because I don't know. I knew part of it and was kind of, I could see how people was receiving the knowledge, the information that I was given, and they was enjoying it, thanking me for it, and this, that, and the other. So I continued on with it when I did see him live at a parade. Now, the same thing. He's going live, and he's sitting there telling people, I'm at a White Linen Fest. Everybody knows where he lives. He's at a White Linen Festival. I start giving, popped in the chat and give the history of the White Linen Festival. Then all of a sudden, I'm doxing him because I'm giving out his location because people's looking for him and all this blah blah, paranoia kind of shit set in, and then they banned me. And then he's done went on. I don't know how many times talking about that I doxed him because I give out his location, all this other kind of shit, completely stupid shit, ludicrous. That's where the quote dox come from. I ain't never doxed. I wouldn't dox. I know some people's information. I'm being that ain't how I roll. I don't care. It's you two, but so now that's to address the actual quote doxing part, right? That's exactly how it went down. I didn't tell him what street. He's because it's a small area. That's why it's like if you had a football game in the Superdome, and I start talking about the history of the Superdome, is that me doxing your location where you're live streaming the shit from the damn Superdome, especially telling people right off the jump you're at the Superdome? That's stupid talk, right? The dude's mind's bad. I mean, I ain't had no issues with the dude. I still don't that much. I mean, but that's where the doc shit come from. And he just keep rolling with it, I guess, because they're getting content or whatever the shit you want to, that is the whole gist of the actual quote. He's saying I dox people, right? Now, as far as the banning, I didn't ban that son bitch. I don't care what he claims. I don't care who claims what. I didn't ban. I hardly ban anybody on this son bitch with damn clone accounts. Everybody
well,
knows that
and
shit. and
you know, like, I'm
timing
not
him out and
sure,
all that kind of stuff.
Troy, I'm not sure that he was actually banned in my channel either. I don't think he was
I was
banned. I
just
don't
about to
recall
ask you after your
unbanning him, for
conversation
example.
yesterday when
And
he
I
was trying to
usually,
tell you.
if I unban somebody, I know that somebody banned them. But on the other
Right.
hand, you know, like, I'm not so into
Well,
the chat and into
yeah,
what's
I
going
know.
on with banning, unbanning, timing out, and bullshit
Right,
like
but all
that,
right, but
that where I'm
we're
going to
proving him,
remember every little detail on anything that happens in my chat. I'm not
and that's
sure if he was
totally
banned or not,
understandable.
but I don't believe that he was banned,
So
because
let me ask you
and
that.
he thought, well, hang on, when I was talking to him yesterday, he thought that he was still banned in my chat. I went and
Right.
checked, and no, he wasn't banned. That's all I
That's what I
know.
was just about to ask you. Now he's sitting there constantly saying he was banned. I don't know that he was banned anyway. And whoever timed him out and all that kind of shit, or banned him, so to say, or whatever, if a mod done that shit, they let him speak up. Will they? I doubt it. Integrity is thing. You know, it's not too strong on these streets. Sad but so, you know.
Yeah.
So
what do you
now,
know about this other guy by the name of Poland that seems to be stirring up shit between
I
me
have no
and
idea.
Kenny?
I don't know who that is. I've seen him on a couple chats before. I don't know. He's I don't know. I don't follow him all that much. I don't follow Kenny all that much. You know, I mean, Jesus, who's gonna sit there and
So
listen to that damn nonsense? He's always talking about orifices of dudes and all this other and everything. You know, it's a lot of gay stuff, man. He needs to realize that there's a doorknob on that closet he's living in or something. I don't know what the hell to think about all that. You know.
yeah.
But the thing is,
No,
you
I
know,
hear you.
so that's
Well,
the
you
other thing.
need
Now,
to.
so
Well, yeah,
that's the
but
two.
okay. But Troy, you heard the streams that he did based on you and me, and how he was calling me out for
Yeah,
being
I know.
involved
I
in this
remember
whole
all that.
thing.
You know why? Because he ain't got nothing else. What he's doing? Chasing DOA as he's wearing pineapple glasses and all this dumb shit. You know, I don't give a damn. You know, it's just he got to have something something for his people. Just like the other time I said in Kenner's chat the other day. You know, the name got brought up. You had somebody a panel guest on your panel. You know, and then he's on his chat over there replaying. So I know exactly who that is, and he's doxing. Apparently, it's a dude that was an Air Force veteran and this, that, and the other. I don't know whatever become of all that stuff, but all this information telling people is me, you know, and I live on such street and all this other stuff, you know, just out of the blue. Why? That's just what he does, you know. It's just what he does. You know, his mind's bad or something. I don't know what the hell you call it. Or he's looking for content or whatever the shit you want to call it, right? It's YouTube, you know. So,
Well, yeah.
So anyway,
You know, and
so
I'm
that's
not.
the two
My
main
channel
things,
is
right?
not for calling people out. I don't really want to call people out. I don't want to get involved in drama. You know that. You know, we used to have Big Q on here all the time, and she would, you know, run off the handle and start yelling and screaming
Yeah.
and whatever. And to me,
She, and like
I
I
don't
said
really
in
like that
chats,
kind of content. For
she
me,
time
that's not content. That's like bullshit. And go do that on your own channel, but I don't really need over here on my channel. But you know what happened is that he came over into my chat. You know, I gave him a wrench because, you know, I thought, well, okay, I respect him that he's like anti-DOA, whatever. And he's a channel owner. And really, people that are on channels, I'm more likely to give them a wrench than, you know, just somebody that's a chatter. And he was a guy with a channel. He was doing his thing against DOA, so I gave him the wrench. And then what happened is he came into my chat. You and him got into a tiff based over you're apparently doxing him or whatever. And then everybody in the chat is saying, take away his wrench, take away his wrench, take away his wrench. He's a bad guy, whatever. And I saw him trying to bash you in my chat or whatever. So I took away his wrench. So that's kind of the big reason that he got really
I mean, that's what he
upset.
does,
And you
Tommy.
know what it's like?
He's
When you
got
take
ROs
away
against
somebody's
people on
wrench,
YouTube.
it pisses them off.
He's got all kind of ROs and shit, been calling kids as people chatters on the internet, on the YouTube's schools and all this other kind of shit. He'll deny it, but there's buku videos of the shit of him doing it on live. You know, he's got restraining orders on YouTube chatters just from his shenanigans from damn chat bullshit. The dude, you know.
Well, yeah, I heard
But hey,
about that a little bit.
if that's him,
I don't know the
see, that's
details,
the
but
thing. All right, now hold on. All right, so see that's my beef, right? Is one knowing that and for one, as long as I've been a mod on your channel, not even trying to verify it or nothing. You're gonna go with this knucklehead, and just and not only that, Tommy, but you actually went in other. I've got screenshots where you went in other chats out the blue, talking about, oh well, I took Troy's mod away. He was doing rogue mod stuff. I mean, what kind of bullshit is that, dude? You know?
Well, yeah, because I took it as being rogue mod stuff. What? Okay, did you time him out?
No, not that I recall. If I did, it would be just like you talked about. If he wouldn't shut up or whatever,
You
just
might
like,
have.
just
Well,
like
but you might have timed
Salty.
him
I
out,
know
which would have
Salty's
pissed
been
him
going
off.
around. Salty's been going around chats like crazy, talking about, oh, Troy, time me out, time it. I'm a mod. I've been timed out as a mod more than once, 2 or 3 times on this damn on your chat before as a mod. Did I email you, calling and bitching and whining? Did I get on the thing, calling, bitching and whining? No, it's YouTube. You know why? Because it keeps the. I don't care about all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Sure
Well, let
enough.
me ask you a question. Are you a troll?
That depends on your definition of a troll. See, that's the next thing I was going to bring up. The thing, you going in other people's chats and this, that, and the other, and I had to keep an eye on that. To think badly of somebody chatting with somebody that don't align politically with myself or you or whatever is a bad thing. That to me, and that's just my opinion, that's part of the problem what's taking place in the world right now, right? It's that tribalism shit or whatever. I don't do that. My idea of politics is they all crooked as shit. I'm not MAGA. I'm not a liberal. I could give 2 shits. The history has shown us that, they're going to put dangle whatever carrot in front of whatever party, and it's funny when Biden was in office and I say the same shit about Biden, people, the MAGA group, whatever you want to call it, would all cheer it on, right? But yet, I guess they didn't realize that that's my thoughts for politics, period. So when Trump will come office, you call him out for some legitimate shit, right? I mean, they ain't just making up just off the wall bullshit about it or whatever. Then all of a sudden, oh, you change. No. Like I've done put in chats, I couldn't tell you how many times, right? You get, to believe that government has people's best interests at hand is ludicrous in a way. I mean, history's kind of showed us that. Now, is it hopeful that shit going to change? Well, sure. The reality of it is that well, it's not really kind of changing for the best for the citizens, right? It's changing for the best for the oligarchs, the elites, the technocrats, blah blah blah. That's fact. Does that mean? And and by saying that, I don't mean that people should lose hope or whatever, or keep preaching what they believe. Not at all. Freedom. People need to be able to voice whatever they can, but because and if I go to G's chat or whatever and talk to them or Charlie's or whoever and just chop it up, mix it up, make jokes, laughing this, that, and other, but that's a bad thing? No, I don't think so. And if other people do, well, so be it. It's freedom, whatever. It don't make no difference.
Yeah.
But people need to be able to talk.
But on the other hand, like I don't like trolls to be like have mod status in my channel. Like it doesn't matter who the person is. If they're a troll out there, and I know I've never really considered you as being a troll because you've been kind of
Well, I mean, if you listen to
lackadaisical
RV,
and
I'm
saying
the
what you
king
want
of
to
troll.
say, and
I rule over all of them and shit, all crazy ass shit that comes out. I mean, that shit's nuts. I'm my own person,
well, yeah.
always been, always will be. Everybody's a product of their past. My past made me this way.
Well, yeah.
It ain't not,
No, and likely, I'm more likely to have you as a mod as Kenny, because Kenny is just a kind of a new guy, just coming around, just where you've been
well, I
around
mean,
for probably 4 or 5 years already. Like this is
the,
not
the
your
dude's half
first rodeo,
retarded.
like you
Tommy,
say.
be honest, not to say that in a bad way. I mean, he gets a retarded check and this, that, and the other. I mean, he is mentally handicapped, right? So, and I take that, to heart. That's why I don't rag on him all that much. Now you make poke fun of whatever this, that, and the other. Sure, you poke fun of different people. Doxing and all that bullshit ain't nothing but blatant lies. That just like I said, when he was going off on all that shit, when somebody was on your panel talking about it was me, just about everybody in his chat done heard me talk before and know that ain't me up in there. But what they doing, they ain't correcting him on that shit. They all kikiing behind that shit. Like, it's a big joke. Well, that shit just keeps snowballing. I don't really give a damn. But it is what it is. That's what they do. You see?
Yeah.
The part
So
that got
what do
underneath
you
my
want?
skin,
Okay,
the part that
so
got up
you
underneath my skin was
yeah.
the fact that taking that kind of person that you done admitted that you done admitted that, when you looked in the ban list, he ain't been in no damn ban list. He ain't been banned. That's just the kind of bullshit he spouts, right? But then all of a sudden, not even, and it ain't really about no wrench, but that's what brought it up, right? All of a sudden, they're gonna pull a managing mod's wrench that's been a mod for you, what, 3 or 4 years now, simply because this knucklehead done claimed some bullshit. It's an integrity issue to me. It ain't got nothing to do with no wrench. Matter of fact, I don't want another. This ain't about getting the wrench. I don't want. If you give me the wrench back, I'm not gonna take it. Right? It's done. I don't care. It ain't nothing but a damn wrench. And most of the time, what I was doing, and everybody in this damn chat knows, anybody that's been in your chat for any length of time knows. You know how I use my wrench? I try to keep the other mods halfway in check because I can see what they timing people out for, deleting comments and all this other stuff over feelings. Just something, and it could be just something just totally nonchalant, but yet somebody say something, or the mod go back and then say something smart aleck to a chatter. The chatter replies, boom, the mod has the wrench, the power, so they go ahead and delete their comment or time them out. To me, that's not right. I'm a believer in freedom of speech. Everything should fly with, a certain, as long as it ain't against TOS. That's
Yeah.
just how I always look at it.
Well,
And I hold
as long
I
as
hold no political bias, and I think
yeah,
that's the
okay,
main
but
thing.
Troy, as long as you understand, that I felt, like whether you like it or not, and I'm a pretty tough guy on the internet here, and I really don't let things bother me. But I didn't like the fact that he went hard, doing a couple of videos, with saying my name over and over and over and over again, and your name, and it was
Yeah, he
Tommy
did that to me too.
Temptress
Right,
and Troy whatever. Remember that?
right,
Tommy Temptress, and he's saying it
right.
over and
Well,
over and
you had
over again,
well,
going
look,
on there for
Tommy
4
Temperance.
freaking hours, and
He
I'm
had
going,
people.
hey,
Listen,
how do I deserve something like that? Like, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything to him, short of, I gave him a wrench and I took his wrench away. And like, that was, in effect, and I didn't do anything. I didn't dox him. I didn't say anything about him. I wasn't like mean to him or anything like that. But I was like pissed off at the fact that he would do stream after stream trying to call me Tommy Temptress and bullshit like
right.
that.
Man,
And
same
it
here. But
wasn't
guess
it
what, Tommy?
wasn't
I
making
don't know
me
if you've
feel
seen
good
it or
about the
not.
whole situation. So I had to resolve the situation. And
Right. But listen.
the only way that I could see resolving this situation was to talk to him, see what
Right.
his take on it was.
Right.
And then to go, okay, well, if he thinks that you're the guy that was at fault and you're the one causing me distress or trouble, well, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to take away somebody's wrench that I think is responsible for people getting pissed off at me. Because what you do and what you say as a person and a mod in my channel indirectly affects me and what people do to me. And that's what
Absolutely.
happened, right?
I agree
You
with that.
understand that,
Right.
right?
Right. I agree with that. But look, it don't matter if he would have said Moses is at fault. That's just what the dude does. And as far as the temper stuff, you have people that's in his chat all the time, in your chat as mods, calling you Tommy Temptress. Right? So,
Well,
put it
give me
in
a name.
perspective.
Give me a name of
I
somebody
ain't
that
one
I
to
should
drop
remove their
names, Tommy.
wrench, and
That
I'll
ain't how I
remove their
roll.
wrench too.
I don't do that. I mean, I don't. I ain't done it before. I ain't doing it now. Like I said, it goes under the whole premises of what took place, what caused it, how it was handled, and yet I'm the one that catches the brunt of this shit. Not just like I said, it ain't about no wrench. It's about being called out on on some dumb shit, and then seeing it in other chats too. Saying, "Oh, well, he did this," without even asking. How hard is it to do? The next time you go live, hey Troy, what about this? I heard this, that, and the other, or hey, I'm gonna drop the link. This is just for so
Well,
and
yeah,
so.
but
Hop up here and
remember,
explain this,
it's
that, and the
easier for
other.
me to take a wrench away and
I know.
to figure out
Right, I
what's
know.
going on
You've
after
done it
that.
before.
Like,
Right.
really, you have to
Right.
diffuse what's happening now, and then figure out a resolution after that, because it's easy to take away a wrench and it's easy to give a wrench back. You know what I mean? Like if you feel butthurt because I took your wrench away and you're going, well, don't give me a wrench back, I don't want it, or whatever. You know, like I've heard that before from Queenie, I've heard that from Brett, I've heard that from a lot of people, and I know that it's extremely hurtful to take away somebody's wrench. I know that, and I do that sparingly, but only in the
Tommy, you need to
case.
listen now.
And people in the chat are going, well, you're choosing Kenny over Troy. I'm
Well,
not
that's what it
choosing
is.
anybody in particular. I'm just
No,
trying
no,
to
that's
eliminate
fact,
trouble
Tommy. I
in
mean,
my chat, because I don't even like to look at the chat. You know, you know what I mean. Like I like to have a show where I'm busy looking at, okay, what's the next thing I'm going to put up? What am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? You know, and the chat is like secondary to my video. Like the video is like way more important. So I kind of let the chat run on its own. That's why the mods kind of look after the chat. I you know, once in a while look at the chat, see something like Troy's a troll and a bad mod, says crime in America. You know what I mean? Like I
well,
see
you know
the
who
odd,
that, I mean, that's bullets.
and
Come
other
on now.
people in
If
there are
anybody
going
believes,
like Troy, like Linda Lou. People are on your side, people are not on your side. It's like it's all over the place. So
yeah, but
I'm
you
just
talking
trying
about
to
people. You need to
not
consider
cause
the sources
commotion,
of that
like
shit, though, dude.
pacify
You
the
know,
chat, you know?
right? You need to consider the sources. I mean, everybody knows crime in America. That's bullets. Anybody take any kind of shit he says without uttering a grain
Well,
of
yeah, I
salt, they
know.
shame on them.
And
You
the
know,
chat is like all over the place. It's like it's hard for
right?
me to control it, and I don't like to spend a lot of time trying to control the chat. You know that.
Right. I understand that. You know, and that was the whole thing I did as a mod, especially a managing mod, is to try to control that in the chat, to try to control, because you got so many damn mods in there, and if somebody pops up in there, and I've done seen it before, right? Carney's the greatest
Yeah.
since, you know, t-shirt patterns. Boom, that, you know, that comment's deleted because they all pro Carney. That just ain't right. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's your show. You could be like RV, you know, he's talking about how good his channel. Look at how good my channel's going. This, that, and the other. I ban people every day. You know, he's got. I mean, that's it. Yeah. Anyways, look. Yeah, exactly. Look at his channel. You know, same thing with bullets. I mean, come on. But and like I said, I can't stress it enough. I don't care if people believe me or not. It ain't. It don't make no. It ain't no skin. It ain't about the wrench. It's the way the shit went down. And like I said, in other chats and all of that, you know, it's more of an integrity issue because, you know, if people think, oh, you're a troll, this, that, and the other. Why? Because I minimize timeouts that if somebody's in here that's, quote, a troll, you know, said something just like that. Carney's, you know, the best thing since t-shirt patterns, and they get timed out or the shit, the comment deleted and whatnot. Or, you know, and I change a 5-minute timeout to a 10-second timeout. Or, like you see a lot of mods are coming there and just attacking chatters they don't like. Why? Because they can, you know, and when that chatter steps back and gives some rebuttal on that shit, next thing you know, they're hit. You know, why? Because the mod has a wrench? Come on. That shit ain't right. It ain't supposed to be. But I mean, it's your show. But that's the thing. You know, you promote free speech. That's one of the main things I stayed in your channel for this long. It's simply for that. I don't hang around hug boxes. You know, I just don't. It just don't. It's kind of productive. I don't like. You know, people ought to be able to say what they want as they will. You know, within a certain extent. That's the part that got to me. It ain't got nothing to do with no damn wrench. You know.
Yeah.
And I
hear
mean,
you.
it. And then when you do that, or like I said, Salty, he timed somebody out for when you just got finished talking about. It ain't the only one. It's just the one on the top of my head. If you know, only minimal timeouts, this, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. Well, he hit somebody for 30 minutes, or, you know, or 24 hours. Then I change it. He goes right back, change it again. I change it again. Go right back, change it again. He changes it again. Go right back, change it again. Then I kept, you need to stop that shit. And he's not the only one, neither. And then they go do it again, this, that, and the other. Then I changed it to 10 minutes, 10 seconds, and then time his ass out for 10 minutes. Why? Because I can, you know, and to try to prove the point. Well, next thing you know, oh, he timed me out. Oh, Troy, he's siding with the trolls because I'm trying to time out a troll, and he's lessening the, you know, he's taking it back. No bullshit. I'm going by what's said. Like I said, I hold no
Okay, Troy.
political bias, you know. So I
Okay,
guess
Troy.
that makes.
So let's go with the people that are in the chat, and let's just ask the people in the chat the question: should Troy get his wrench back? Now, if the chat, the majority of the chat agrees that you should get your wrench back, well, then you're going to get your wrench back. You know, I know you're
Well, it
saying
ain't
don't give
about
it back, I
no
don't want it
wrench.
back, whatever. You know, but you're only saying that because you're butthurt because I took it away from you. Now, at the end of the day, I like to be democratic about the whole thing. Maybe I was being a dictator in not finding out all the details and or jumping the gun, whatever. But remember, I'm more likely to take evasive action right now, and then find out the details later.
I
And
get it.
it's not
I
like
get it, and I'm
you
not
go into
beyond.
jail or something like that.
Right, and I'm not beyond. Like I said, it ain't got nothing to do with the wrench. It was just how the shit went down and being accused of shit, falsely accused. And I appreciate you letting me up here, so we can have this discussion, so I can speak my piece on it because everybody knows what's wrong with that. You know that Kenny's got a damn issues. You know, and he's gonna say whatever the hell he can say. Like I said, he's trying to dox the hell out of me and had some damn Air Force dude. You know, he thinks he knows
Yeah.
all about me, all this other kind of shit. I can care less. I think the shit just like when he was up, like I said, somebody else on your panel in his damn chat done heard me talk before, and they all
Well,
up in here getting kiki with the shit. I mean, it's just
okay.
silly
Well, why
stuff.
don't you go on Boss Talk's panel when
He's got
Boss
me
Talk and
banned.
him are
Oh,
both on there, and you can go on there and
well,
you can
the
discuss
thing is,
things with them and come to some kind of an agreement with Kenny.
I ain't got no problem with that. But the thing is, I wouldn't be on this panel right now if it hadn't been during the day. Boss Talk goes panel. I've been on Boss Talk's panel twice before, 2 or 3 times in the past. Um, but like I said, I got kids and stuff home. I don't get on panels. I'm in my shop right now. That's why I said it's a good time. Let me go up there and speak my piece. This and I appreciate you dropping the link to do that, so we have a better understanding. But because, like I said, I didn't said it before. I blew in the face. I'm gonna say it again. It ain't about the damn wrench. It was just about falsely being accused and who it was coming from. Everybody knows that dude. And how people support that, I don't know. I feel sorry for them dude. I don't give him that much shit. I could, I could wreak havoc on his ass. Do I? No. That just ain't how I roll. I don't know.
Yeah.
In some
And
parts of me, and I've
I'm
been told that some.
I hardly know him. I hardly know Kenny. I'm a little bit iffy on the stuff that he used to talk about these days now. Maybe because he's got a restraining order or something like that against him, where he's kind of chilled out a little bit and he's not so much attacking people and whatever. So maybe he's changing his ways on the internet. So I wish that you and him could at least get together and have a chat, and at least on a panel or something like that, if you see
Yeah,
him
his
live and
people's lurking
come
right
to
now.
some kind of an
Half his
agreement,
chat's
and
in here right now. He could
so he
jump up right
understands
now
where
if
you're
he
coming
wanted
from.
to. He's not
Maybe
going to
he'll
do that
listen to
though.
my chat. I don't know, or listen to my show
He should
and
jump up
listen to what
right
you have
now.
to say.
But he's watching, or his people's watching anyway. I ain't got no problem. I talk to anybody. Don't make me no different. That's the thing. I've been on Charlie's panel before with Al. I've been on panel with Al 3 or 4 times. People,
Yeah.
You're a troll. No, go watch the panels. Listen what we talked about. A lot of it had nothing to do with no damn politic bullshit. And damn sure wasn't calling you out, calling anybody out. I don't play that bullshit. If they want to, that's fine. I don't really give a damn. It ain't for me to judge.
Yeah.
But like I said, it
Well,
was.
and I know, as far as us being friends, you being a friend of my channel, you've been to my channel a lot. You've been on the up and up. You've been a mod for a long time. So I kind of felt bad, hearing from him and hearing, of course he's saying, really, he was saying that you were doxing him. That was the biggest thing. Now, what
No, I mean,
exactly the doxing was, I didn't know what it was. But
yeah,
if you're
people
just
lie
saying,
though,
well,
dude.
he's
That's the
at some
thing.
location and he's out at a remote location or something, that's not really doxing.
No, he
It's not
was
like giving
live
out a home
streaming.
address or phone number or something like that.
Absolutely not. He was live streaming a festival, and I seen
Yeah.
he was there, knew about the festival, been to the festival before, and started talking about the festival. And that's all of a sudden, and he ran with it for months. Oh, he doxed my local, he doxed me. I'm like, whatever. I mean, you consider the source of what I do. You know, that I push when he's trying to dox me and all this other shit, trying to convince people where I lived and all this other kind of stuff. Do I go back and and start posting all kind of stuff about him? No, coulda. 100%.
Okay.
Do I? Absolutely not. That just ain't how I roll.
Okay, are you watching the chat? Are you watching the chat? Because the
No, I
poll
wasn't.
is over now. I just ended the poll. And should I give Troy his wrench back? And the poll came in at yes, 51%, no, 49%.
All that makes me no difference, though, Tom. It really don't.
So you got a 51% say yes, but holy shit, you got a lot of negativity in there. 49%. Where the hell did they all come from?
It don't matter. You know, I know I ain't everybody's cup of tea, and I don't really give a damn, right? I mean, it's just, like
Apparently
I said, I
all the
think what
trolls came in,
separates me
Carrie
from a lot
says.
of these people don't like is I hold no political bias, right? But everybody's all eat up with their political shit, and if you don't agree with them, then you know you're the enemy, or you're the ops, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I mean, people do whatever to talk the shit they want. It don't make me no difference. They really don't.
Yep. I hear you. Okay, so that's the rest of the story. Okay, Troy, thanks a lot. I know.
All right, I
I'll leave it
appreciate
up
you
to
letting
you.
me up to speak my piece, though, Tommy. Hopefully, it kind
Yeah.
of cleared some of that shit up about it, though.
Sounds good. Well, 51% of the people say that you should get your wrench back, so I'll give you your wrench back if I see you in the chat.
If I got it,
I'll
I'm
give
gonna
you the
use it
wrench
the
back,
same way.
and
And
let's leave this to rest. And you work out your differences with Kenny. I'm, I think that at this point it's like case closed. You've said what you say about how it all happened or whatever. I didn't like the fact that I was getting bashed when I had nothing to do with it other than I was being bashed because you were a mod in my chat. Right? That's what the story is. Right? At the end of the day.
And the thing is, his people know better. They just run with it. That's the funny part. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But otherwise, yeah, I think that you're a good friend, a good guy, and whether you're a troll or not, I'm still undecided on that.
What's
Maybe
the
you are a
definition
troll,
of a troll, Tommy? What is
but
it?
to the same degree, I could say that Brett is a troll because him and I don't agree on things,
But that's what I was
politically or
saying.
whatever.
Can you
But
define what
I
a
still
troll
try
is?
and be friends.
But define what is a troll. Somebody just don't agree
Well,
with you?
okay, if you hang out in somebody else's chat and those people over in that chat are bashing me and bashing other content creators, like those people are absolute trolls. I don't like being bashed by other people in other channels at all, and I don't like being bashed here at all. So, and if you're more likely to try and dox me, say my real name and stuff like that, well, you'll be banned or whatever. But I never really considered you as a troll. But on the other hand, you probably hang out in some of those troll channels,
But I bashing you?
No, I
I
never
don't
heard you
bash.
bashing me.
I ain't
No,
never doxed nobody, bash you. I mean, so how does
no,
that, whatever.
that's
But
true.
the bottom line is, if anybody's in the chat, I ain't been looking. But the thing is, if you go live and you give your location or give, the event, that's like I was asking you right off the bat. You was at a festival. Even if you didn't say where the festival was, right? If you at a place, when you was at the mountains the other day, right, or whatever, anybody that's, you at a place, and you telling people, and you're live streaming, you at that place, and somebody makes a comment, whether or not it's the history of the place or the comment of the place, and you turn around and call that to doxing, well, then all I got to, you're a mind bent bitch. All I can say, because that is just stupid. That is dumb, right? I mean, how do you go
Oh yeah, I
live
don't consider that
and
to be
stream your
doxing,
place?
if you're at a
And I
location.
see people call other people, just like him, call him by his real name or chat by his real name. I don't try to do that. I use whatever the screen name is, this, that, and the other. So, whatever. It's
Yeah,
YouTube.
I hear
That
you.
just ain't how I roll. It's a little bit of respect thing. And the respect goes both ways. I don't care if somebody believes with me, or I disagree with them politically or not. It's irrelevant in my book. Respect is respect, right? If they kosher, then they kosher. Shit.
Yep.
But
Okay,
anyway,
I've
all right,
heard
Tom.
enough on this story.
Yeah,
The
me
chat
too.
says give you your wrench back. So
It
if
don't
I
make
see
me
you in
no
the chat,
difference.
I'll give you your wrench back. So don't bellyache about it, and let's just move on from this story.
I
and
appreciate you letting me up
say
because I
that it
could tell
was
you really didn't want
a
to.
learning
But
process on my behalf, whatever. But you know, I just try and I have to keep my channel like on the up and up, and I don't like to have people, you know, doing other shit to try and make me look bad on the internet. I have feelings too, whether people
thing is,
know it or not, and I don't
you
like
know,
to have my feelings hurt by other people out there, especially when I had nothing to do with it, you know.
yeah. But the thing is, you know, I mean, it's simple logic. You know, you don't judge people by other people's actions, even if they conversing about stuff that ain't even pertaining to that, whatever bothered you about the action. In other words, you see, I mean, that's you know, regardless. I mean, shit. That's
Yeah.
anyways.
Well,
I appreciate you
people
letting me
think
up,
that
though,
it's all,
Tom.
oh, if it's online, it's all bullshit and whatever, and just that people don't get hurt or whatever. But people have feelings, and they don't like, you know, like obviously Kenny didn't like what you said about him. There's no doubt about that. Whether you
Well, I
think
mean,
what you said about him was right or wrong, he didn't like it, and he sees you as a mod in my chat. He comes over here and
but look,
starts
Tom. I mean, put things
calling
in
you out in my
perspective.
chat. You get
He's
into
like,
an argument with him, and then I end up having to deal with him as having a wrench in my chat. And you know, at the end of it, that's the story, and let's just leave it like that.
yeah, I mean, he's like the
Kenny is
American Queenie. I
he
mean,
doesn't need a
he'll
wrench. He
name
already
off
said that he
whatever.
doesn't really want to have a wrench in people's chats, so I'll just leave him without a wrench. And I don't think you're a terrible mod at all. I think you were doing a good job over the years. So, and the chat with the 51% of the chat say that you should get your wrench back. So they have spoken. Democracy has spoken.
Either way, I appreciate you letting me up, though, Tom. I could tell you're a little reluctant, but I'm glad you did.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks a lot for being here. Okay, bye-bye, Troy. Okay, that was Troy. That was Troy in the chat. Thanks a lot, Troy, for coming up here and giving us your version of the story. And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. Oh, and with that, we're going to head out of here. Go for a bike ride, e-bike ride downtown. Yesterday I said I was going to go live, but I actually did some vertical shorts, and I posted them as shorts on my channel when I went downtown there. And if I would have went live, I couldn't have done those shorts, and those shorts are getting literally thousands of views over on Facebook there. So, yeah, with the funicular downtown there, I did that one. I did one of some police trying to clean up the downtown. And honestly, I was it was a depressing situation riding around downtown Edmonton because there were on almost every block downtown homeless people tweaking, doing the fent bent, and drug addicts and all kind of stuff going on. It is unbelievable how bad the downtown of Edmonton has gotten. I don't mean just in that little Hope Mission soup kitchen area. I mean all of downtown is, people on almost every block downtown. Unbelievable. So, yeah, with that, we're going to call it a day. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. You're watching the Tommy Temper Show. I am Tommy Temper. This is the Temper Report, bringing you the latest of what the hell is going on in the world, especially up here in Canada, and how Canada relates to the United States, what's happening with Donald Trump, and the Lake America. Oh, man. What next? Okay, we'll see you guys when I go live next. Bye-bye for now. Take care. And remember, without you, we wouldn't have a show. Troy, say something in the chat so I can give you a wrench back. 51%. Wow, that's a pretty tight margin. Yeah. Oh, Quack. I'm going to be at the rally there tomorrow. I'll be there probably by about 12 o'clock. I'll be there a little bit early, so I'll be hanging out right around that front stage. So look forward to meeting up with Quack. I'll be live down there, so we'll be doing some interviews and stuff there with Quack. So check that. it'll be cool. Where's Troy? Troy, get in the chat there again so that we can see it. Oh, actually, hang on. Maybe I can zoom the chat back a bit here. See if I can find Troy, so that we can give him that wrench back. I don't know if I can zoom back that far. Bump, bump, bump. Yeah, well, I would say that a lot of trolls came in there to try and vote down that poll, but they didn't quite succeed because Troy made it at, he just squeaked in there at 51%. So, like I say, I'm a democratic type person, so I like to let democracy rule and let everybody out there have a vote and go with whatever the voters say. And at the end of the day, you have spoken. Let's see. Where is Troy? Oh, there's Troy. Okay. Yeah, I see you in there. That better be Troy, because I better not be giving a wrench to the wrong person, because if I do, that will be absolutely terrible. But there we go. Troy's got his wrench back again. And the show is over. So thanks a lot, everyone, for being part of the Tommy Tepper Show. I do appreciate your participation and your camaraderie, your comrades. Comrades, thank you very much for being part of the show. And we'll be out there with Quack over at the legislative grounds for the Alberta Independence Movement rally that's going to be happening down there. And yeah, maybe Antifa will be down there. So look forward to getting Antifa on the video and showing you what their rhetoric is going to be about, because they were there, but only about 4 or 5 people at the last big rally there. There wasn't a big Antifa turnout at all, but I think they'll rally their forces and get more of their people out there this time. So yeah, stay safe. Yeah, exactly. Real Red Mama, you bet. Thanks a lot for the kind words, everyone. And we will see you all later.